Okay, let's do some problems where we're adding decimals. Okay, two things to keep in mind. Keep in mind the rules for adding positives and negatives. And also know that when you add or subtract decimals, you have to line up the decimal points. Okay, so let's look at negative 4.58 plus a negative 3.5. Okay, first thing I'm noticing is that the signs are the same. Okay, if the signs are the same, I'm going to add them and keep the answer the same sign. So I'm going to add these and make sure the answer remains negative. Okay, so add as normal, but make sure the decimal points are lined up. So 4.58 plus 3.5, add 8. You could think of 0 there being there if you wanted to. 5 plus 5 is 10. And then 4 plus 1 plus 3 would be 8. Decimal point stays lined up in your answer as well. Okay, so 4.58 plus 3.5 is 8.08. But we know a negative plus a negative is a bigger negative. So we're going to write it as negative 8.08. Okay, when we add negative 4.58 plus a positive 3.5, okay, think about adding a negative to a positive. Okay, when you add a negative to a positive, you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we're going to subtract the 4.58 minus the 3.5. Notice I'm lining up the decimal points. Pretend like there's a 0 there. Okay, 8 minus 0 is 8. 5 minus 5 is 0. 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, 1.08. Okay, but now we need to think about the sign. Okay, so we're adding a negative to a positive. So we subtract and we get 1.08. But we need to keep the sign of the bigger absolute value number. Okay, the bigger number is 4.58 and it's negative. So the answer is going to be negative 1.08. Okay, so you're just using the rules for adding positives and negatives. And you also need to keep in mind that when you add or subtract decimals, you have to keep the decimal points lined up. Okay, try the next two problems on your write it.